last show of the year. So we want to make sure that we actually do a show today, New Year's Eve, Thursday, December 31st. A lot of things to unpack. This past week, and in fact, been um, filled with information, and we're going to touch on a few things. Today actually was a MTA town hall meeting, and I will be speaking about that. In fact, I will be playing a clip of the video. We're gonna touch into that. But first, we got to handle the business. If you want to donate to the Progressive Action TV show, the Cash App is Progressive Action 100. The PayPal is Progressive Action. In the link of the video, you could go to Patreon. We got something called Patreon where you could donate once a month if you would like, whatever you like to do. But I want to get into the news. I don't want to focus too much on that. I want to get into the news. Did you guys see this whole debacle with Mitch McConnell? And Mitch McConnell is a serious problem. He is a serious problem, and we're going to talk about that. But first, let's get into the clip, and we're going to discuss what happened. Let's go.
Even in our deeply divided times, Madam President, this issue has united Americans from coast to coast and bridged the massive political divide here in Washington. A vast majority of the public, Republican and Democrat, strongly support $2,000 checks. An overwhelming bipartisan majority in the House supports 2,000 checks. Senate Democrats strongly support $2,000 checks. Even President Trump supports $2,000 checks. There's one question left today. Do Senate Republicans join with the rest of America in supporting $2,000 checks? Would the senator modify his request to include a unanimous consent request that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of H.R. 9051, a bill received from the House to increase recovery rebate amounts to $2,000 per individual, that the bill be read a third time and passed, the motion to reconsider be considered, made, and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Is there objection to the modification?
Object.
Objection is heard.
Even in our
I wish I had my favorite button to let Mitch McConnell know how we feel. But Mitch McConnell basically objected, and he stopped Americans from getting $2,000. Now, let's put things in perspective. A $600 stimulus check doesn't cover 1 month of rent in most of America. It definitely doesn't cover 1 month of rent in New York City. Now, to put things in greater perspective, Mitch McConnell is worth $22.5 million. But here he go, denying the American people who need this money a $2,000 stimulus check, man. This is what we dealing with in America. And America's supposed to be the greatest country in the world. But when it comes to, treating their American citizens the right way, they drop the ball every time. This country does not represent the greatest when it comes to their people. Let me put give me 1 second. I want to put the call-in number in. I want to hear what you guys got to say today. Let me see. All right, yeah, let me put that up there. So you could call in 515-605-9842. I want to see what you guys talking about on YouTube early today. Where's YouTube? But this is what's crazy about, Mitch McConnell and the Republicans. When it comes to tax breaks for the rich, they are with it. When it comes to spending billions of dollars on war, they are with it. But when it comes to giving the American people $2,000 stimulus checks, it is a problem. During a time when so many people lost their jobs, during a time where people are losing their homes, losing their businesses, $2,000 is too much. But saving the rich on tax breaks, which saves them millions of dollars, is not a problem. I find that to be kind of crazy. And we live in a time where when it's time for the American people, the working poor, the poor to get theirs, they always find a way to hold us back. And the whole defense entire bill that Mitch McConnell is pushing is all about war. It's not about nothing else. It's about war. And we spend billions of dollars on war every year. Every year. People are literally struggling during these times to put food on their table. And we only want to give them, and I'm not even going to say we, Mitch McConnell and the Republicans only want to give them or us $600. That's crazy. But look, we got to remember what Tupac said. Y'all remember what Tupac said? They got money for wars but can't feed the poor. It's true. It's true. They got money for all the wars in the world but don't have no money when it comes to the American people. And just to put things in more of a perspective, right? Let me put this on the screen. This is how America stack up with stimulus packages in the world. This is how they match up. The UK, they get 80% of workers' salaries. Denmark, 75%. South Korea, 70%. The Netherlands, 90%. Canada, $2,000 a month. Australia, $1,000 a month. The U.S. did a one-time $1,200 check, and that was back in April, right? Now they just did another one for $600. We're supposed to be the best country in the world, but our stimulus packages are subservient to all the other major countries in the world. That should tell you something. That should tell you something. Look, we got a lot to talk. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to unpack a lot today. We're going to talk about the union. We're going to talk about the MTA. We're going to get to it today. But this whole Democrat, Republican, same bird, what they say, same bird, two different wings or something like that, they the same, man. We got to get rid of both of these parties because both of these parties are not about the American people. Now, I want to talk about, there was just an MTA, I'm going to say this, town hall meeting that happened at 11 a.m. this morning. And it was people asking questions. A lot of people be in the room, but they don't be asking the questions that need to be asked. And the MTA, they didn't let me, or Sarah Feinberg, she didn't let me finish what I wanted to say. So, I'm glad that we got our own platform because it's important that you guys see this. And I want to know why they don't release these videos, but I'm happy that I happened to record this. So let me play a clip of the video, and then I'm going to discuss it because this is worth discussing, and we're going to get down to the bottom of it. So check it out.
Yeah,
all right.
We can hear you now.
Pat Warren, you've been very dishonest this whole entire pandemic. On March 1st, you said that the MTA was handing out masks. If you look at my screen, that paper is a safety rule dispute resolution form. On March 2nd, the MTA was telling us that if we wear masks, it's against uniform policy and we will be written up. Now we're approaching 1 year in this pandemic and you guys is acting like it's day one. Just the other day on social media, and Sarah, I know you've seen it, I posted bathroom pictures. Horrible bathroom pictures. These bathrooms wasn't clean, and if they wasn't clean, they wasn't disinfected. Now, hindsight isn't 2020 for you guys. There's no hindsight. It's all about service for you guys and not safety. And it boggles my mind that there's nobody really at 2 Broadway. And there's more social distancing at 2 Broadway than it is in these crew rooms. But you guys send 2 Broadway home, don't even need testing there because a lot of people was not there. But y'all have us packed up in crew rooms and all this other stuff. That's all I wanted to say to you, Pat. Now, Sarah, I have a question to you about why do you guys attack injured and ill workers on the job via workers' comp? You guys deliberately break workers' comp law to not pay comp benefits to get workers to come to work back quick. You guys are doing it to me now. You guys have me under a fictitious investigation. You hired people from North Haven, Connecticut to follow me around Brooklyn, follow me to church. You guys, and on top of that, you guys were saying I was committing comp fraud and y'all wasn't paying me. You guys didn't pay me a dime for a month, Sarah. And to be clear, this been going on way before COVID. This is a tactic being, hold on. This is a tactic being used by you guys, and you guys must stop it. You guys must stop it.
Do you want me to answer the question?
Let me finish. I got one more thing to say. You guys got 18 days to pay workers. You can look it up yourself on the workers' comp website. You guys go months. You guys waited 6 months before y'all decided to pay me. On August 27th, y'all lost in court, and what y'all decided to do? You guys decided to waste the taxpayers' money again.
So now I'm happy to answer your question.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead. Like, just to be clear, town hall meetings, like, it's totally, like, obviously, I wouldn't have them if I didn't want people to be able to ask questions and, like, state their opinion. And, you know, every single time I do this, there's, you know, lots of people who have criticisms and, you know, want to state their opinion. That's fine. That's why I do this. I'm more than, yeah.
All right.
We can hear you now.
Pat Warren, you've been very dishonest this whole entire pandemic. I wish I had my button again. You know, this is the thing, right? So the way she tried to answer the question was that my situation was isolated. This is a known fact, right? The MTA use workers' comp to force injured and ill workers back to work by straining them economically before they start making payments to them. This is a fact, Sarah. I'm not making this up. This is not even exclusive to me. I'm just brave enough to come and put you guys on notice about this known fact that you guys are doing. I'm not the only one that y'all do this to, but I do find it strange that you guys put a fictitious investigation on me in which you guys lost August 27th during a time when you guys claiming that you don't have no money. You guys are crying broke. You hire investigators from North Haven, Connecticut to follow me around Brooklyn, to church and other places. Took videos of me in the subway, going to doctor's appointments. Tried to create these lies to criminalize me for committing comp fraud. And once again, in a case that you guys lost. But what you guys decide to do, waste taxpayers' money once again, target me once again, retaliate against me once again, just to prove a point. But like I said, this isn't only me. I wasn't asking on behalf of me. I was using my case as an example. I know at least 50 workers that this has happened to. I know at least 5 people right now that's out on comp and not getting paid. You know, there's a reason why we get 20 days. We could use up to 20 days in the beginning of comp, right? Because if you guys do decide to fight, you guys got 18 days to figure this stuff out. You have 15, 18 days to figure this stuff out tops. So the 20 days was there to cover just in case you guys wanted to play hardball. But you want to know what? You guys have us go to work for months. I mean, be out of work for months. No comp money. And then we have to make a decision. Should I tell the doctor that, I'm feeling better just so I could put food on my family table? Maybe you don't know what's going on because you new here. But this has been a practice that has been in place for a very, very, very long time. Now, instead of you being a leader and saying, you know what, Tramel, let me look into it. You over here going to tell me, well, if you feel like we are, if you feel like we breaking the law, because I know that we ain't breaking the law and I know that we won't do anything wrong, go get a lawyer or go, you ain't say go get a lawyer, but you say, you could go get some people. Why are you threatening me like that? That shows that you're guilty. You can't even, you biased already. You didn't show absolutely no leadership skills. This whole entire time, even during the pandemic, you sat there on that town hall meeting today and you rambled. You rambled about nothing. Whenever you guys were supposed to take the blame, you guys say, well, hindsight is 2020. No, hindsight is not 2020 with you guys. You guys are blind when it comes to hindsight. Why? Because you guys like to put the blame on other people. The CDC says this. The CDC said that. Well, did you look at the CDC policy lately? Do you know the CDC policy said that there should be at least 6 feet distance between people on a bus for bus operators? And if it's good for bus operators, it's definitely good for train crews. Don't you know that this whole filtration system that you guys say on the train, that it filters the cab the cabin where the passengers be at? But don't you know that there's only forced air being put in our position, where whatever's not being caught in these filters, because it's a known fact that the filters do not catch everything. You guys said it yourself, that this air is filtrated into our operating cabs. It is unsafe. You want to talk about that? But let's be clear. You guys are attacking injured and ill workers via workers' comp. This situation is not exclusive to me. This is a known fact and practice that you guys do. This is a known fact. There was no reason not to pay me. You guys did not controvert my case. Y'all didn't even fight it. Then y'all made up some kind of narrative that I never got sick. I had to send you guys my positive test result 3 times. And then magically, after months not getting paid, and I remind you, I got sick in March. After months of not being paid, you guys bring up some fake charges. And I mixed up the dates. Y'all brought up charges on me August 27th. I beat those charges October 2nd. And then to put more of a hardship on me, to teach me a lesson, because that's what all this is about, you guys decide to appeal a case that you guys know that is unethical. How can you hit me for workers' comp fraud, and then y'all had investigators buy stuff that wasn't even attached to me because y'all thought it was attached to me, but it wasn't? Y'all had investigators buy things, but y'all wasn't paying me, right? So if I decided to go out there and sell water, or if I was going out there to sell flags, whatever the case may be, if I went out there to sell masks, whatever the case may have been, I had the right to do that to feed my family. You guys took action against me, purposely not paying me to teach me a lesson. That's what this was all about. That's what this was all about. That's where the retaliation comes in here, Sarah. You don't want to fix this problem because I believe that you are a part of these attacks on me. You guys do not like the fact that I challenge you guys. You guys do not like the fact that I'm black and challenging you guys. You guys do not like that. That's what this boils down to. You could tell the people whatever you want, but you and I know what's going on. And I'm telling you, there's some things that's being said about me out here from your managers that y'all not going to be able to roll back. It's a known fact that I'm being retaliated against. Now, I tried to be diplomatic about it. I tried to bring these situations to you guys' attention. Y'all ignored it because y'all want to get the black man out of here. He's causing too much problems, right? I'm not even going to say too much about it. If you want to talk about it, and if you want to be unbiased and act like that you wasn't a part of this whole entire thing or claim no knowledge, get in contact with me. Why don't you look over my case specifically? I got sick back in March. You guys didn't pay me until one time when I won the case. Y'all paid me like $2,000. $2,000, and I'm missing about 6 months, 7 months worth of pay. What I'm supposed to do with $2,000 in 6 months? And I'm being treated like this because I got injured on the job. I fell ill on the job because you guys failed to protect us. On March 1st, Patrick Warren was saying you guys was handing out masks, and then on March 2nd, in which I pulled up on the Zoom, and I'm going to pull up here, on March 2nd, you guys were saying that masks were against uniform policy. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. And it's not me. And it's not the workers. You guys deliberately lied in the media. You guys deliberately attacked me and called me a disgruntled employee. Remember? Y'all called me a disgruntled employee because y'all attacking me by not paying me because I fell ill on the job. When I was at work before I left work, I was 100%. I'm not going to go back 80%. It's not about the money. It's about my health. And you guys is not helping that out by continuously to attack me. You actually slowing down my recovery. You guys have slowed down my recovery during these times. Insane. Insane. These people are crazy, man. These MTA bosses are crazy. And man, it's beyond like, listen to the workers out there. You guys got to start speaking up. You guys got to start speaking up. In order to create change, we must create awareness first. Don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to protect yourself. Don't be afraid to protect your family. These people don't care. They just said on the Zoom that there's no COVID testing at 2 Broadway. And the reason they said there's no COVID testing at 2 Broadway is because there's not a lot of people working at 2 Broadway. They working from home. So you mean to tell me at 2 Broadway, where everyone has cubicles and they could actually social distance, that they can't come to work, but you go inside these crew rooms where we can't social distance, but we can come to work? What sense does that make? They got the COVID testing at 130 Livingston because the bosses is not there. Not the big bosses is not there. But the big bosses is at 2 Broadway. So you know what they want to do? They want to protect their families. So they able to put in policies to make sure that they protect their families. They don't care about our families. They don't care if we social distance or not. They don't care if our crew rooms is clean or not. They don't care about that. So why should we care about how they feel? Why we continue to remain silent on the issues on how they treat us? The silence must stop. Us being silent, we are only doing them a favor, and we're doing ourselves an injustice. We must stop remaining silent because they play, oh, I didn't know that was going on. Oh, this and that. No, it's a lot of stuff that go wrong here, and the people who's supposed to be talking about the issues for us are not. And that's the union leadership. They are not talking about these issues for us. They are actually complacent in what's going on here regarding workers' comp. They are willing accomplices of the MTA not protecting us during COVID, doing the bare minimum to protect us. They not even disinfecting the way they supposed to, and the union is not saying anything about it. They not letting us know about the contact tracing, and the union is not saying anything about it. They are willing accomplices of the MTA. They are not for us. And I find this strange. This news article popped up. Now, I want to be clear that the chief, they play an important role in labor, right? They put out the stories. They let us know about civil service tests. They let us know what's going on in these unions and things of that nature. They play a very important role. But this article right here is very misleading and dishonest. So it says the transportation unions help secure $45 billion for transit under the relief bill. So you trying to tell me it was easier for, because they used the TWU International John Samuelson. They tried to say that it was easier for Samuelson to help secure $45 billion than it was easier for him to secure the proper PPE for us in the beginning of this pandemic up until now. They trying to tell us that it's easier to help to get $45 billion than to make sure that there's trailers at each and every one of our locations so we could properly social distance. Is this what it's telling us? That it's easier to get $45 billion than protect their workers? This is why we had to build this platform, to bring true transparency as to these narratives that's being out there, because money rule. There's nothing to say that the chief didn't take some under the table money to put a narrative out there like that, because it's very dishonest and it's very misleading. It's easy to get $45 billion, but it's hard to shut down unsafe work. Somebody tell me how does that make sense? It make absolutely no sense at all. The union helped secure $45 billion, in which $4 billion is going to the MTA. But then now they got to sue the MTA for breaking or allegedly breaking the law. Does that make sense? So you help get $45 billion, which $4 billion is coming to the MTA. But you can't stop the MTA from closing down booths. You got to take them to court and sue them. That makes absolutely no sense to me. No sense to me at all. It's easy. Now check this out. Check out this video real quick. You mean to tell me the MTA, or rather the union, could help get $45 billion, but they can't get the MTA? This was just, that video was just last weekend. They can't help the MTA, or they can't tell the MTA to clean our facilities. It's easier to help get $45 billion. Do y'all know how much money that is? Do y'all know how much money that is? It's easier to get $45 billion, but they can't get the MTA to keep our facilities clean during one of the most unprecedented times in our lives. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. And of course, after I put out the video on social media, the MTA made an attempt to clean it. But look at this bathroom. This is during COVID. This is just last weekend. Just last weekend. Once again, to my coworkers, why would you even use a bathroom like that? Where's our dignity and respect at? Why would you use a bathroom like that? Why would you use a bathroom like that? The MTA don't care. They only care about service. I don't make this stuff up. I don't make any of this stuff up. None of this stuff at all. If you want to call 515-605-9842. Another thing, the union helped secure $45 billion, but can't secure the fact that transit workers should have been first in line to get the vaccine if they wanted to. You could help get $45 billion, but you couldn't help to make sure that we got the vaccine first after 140 members died and continue to die to this day. Does that make any sense? We got more deaths than any one agency in the United States. We should have been first in New York to those who wanted it. We should have been first. We had the most infection and death rates than any one agency in the country. That's not a sign of urgency that we need it, but we got to wait. Why is Local 100 so quiet during this whole rollout? We should have been first to those who wanted it. First. I mean, this is Cuomo. Like Cuomo, who's in charge of the MTA, who claims that we heroes, but you don't make sure that we get it. And then this whole thing is kind of crazy. Cuomo, what he did, he got some nerve. He closed down businesses, indoor dining. A lot of people lost their businesses. What did Cuomo do? He made a business out of the pandemic, out of all the dead people who died. Like he was a leader throughout this whole entire thing. Cuomo found a way to make a profit during this pandemic while infection rates are going up, while the death rates are going up, while the hospitalization rates are going up. Cuomo decided to make a profit in the pandemic. This is as unethical as it gets, people. He didn't wait till after the pandemic. He didn't wait for things to simmer down. If you listen to the press conferences, Cuomo was like, y'all got to hurry up and get to work. Yeah, he was. He was getting to work on his book. That's what he was doing. I mean, and then all this blame gaming. Everybody blame game. Oh, we got to blame Trump, and we got to Trump and the CDC. Okay, right? Before this pandemic hit, from all these politicians, I've been hearing that Trump is an idiot. Trump doesn't know what he's doing. He disbanded this. Why would you go rely on an idiot in the midst of war? The only reason you would go rely on an idiot in the midst of war is to have a scapegoat to blame. All this time Trump been in office, only thing I've been hearing is that he's incompetent to be president. But then you guys go and rely on an incompetent person to lead you through some unprecedented times. That makes absolutely no sense. Trump failed without a doubt, but he was used as a scapegoat because you guys knew his abilities. You guys knew it, right? Now, to be honest, I like that Cuomo is gangster. I like the fact that he's tough and he know how to pull his weight around. I just don't like the fact that our union representatives are weak when it comes to Cuomo. I can't be mad at Cuomo for being a man and knowing how to be the man and be all over these beta males. I can't be mad at Cuomo for that. But I can be at my union leadership for being weak, for being yes men, for being lapdogs, for being afraid to challenge the bully in the yard. I could be mad at them for that. I can't be mad at Cuomo. The way Cuomo moving, it seemed like we come from the same environment. I can't be mad at that. But he did do some foolish things. He's not innocent out of all this. He can't put the blame on Trump. A governor is basically the president of their state. He must be responsible and held responsible also, and our union leadership failed to do that. It's the same thing with Sarah Feinberg in that town hall she had today. She sat there and deferred blame to the CDC. There wasn't no blame to Cuomo. The governor is the president of their state. To put it in perspective, Cuomo's father, Mario Cuomo, he didn't need permission from the federal government to build all those jails in the 80s. He didn't need permission. He did that. He was the governor. He did that. They could have built factories to build masks for a pandemic. They could have did 1,000 things. They decided to invest in jails. That was important to them. But he was allowed to do that because he was the governor of New York. Governors are the presidents of their states. That's just how it works. That's just how it works. And to the union, if you scared of Cuomo, get a dog, man. Take a dog up to Albany. Y'all pull all this tough guy stuff on members. Y'all want to play all this gangster role on members and call members on voicemails and when members are campaigning, y'all want to act tough to members and stuff like that. But when it come to Cuomo, where are all these tough guys? I never seen none of these tough guys challenge Cuomo or say anything to Cuomo on the internet, in person, or anything. A tough guy ain't tough being selective. A tough guy or woman gonna be tough at all times. Being the fact that you guys be selectively tough and decide who y'all want to be tough with, that's weakness. These people are crazy. These people are crazy. And then look, back to some more MTA news, right? Clayton Goussard from the Daily News wrote an excellent article, and it was about people getting killed or committing suicide while the ridership was low during this whole COVID thing, right? But the true fact of the matter is that a lot of people is dealing with stress. A lot of people lost family members. A lot of people can't deal with everyday stress. So I never expected the suicide rates to go down. But the reason why I brought up this article is just to show you guys how the MTA operate. It's very important that we point out how the MTA operate during times like this. So basically, in this article, I should have highlighted it, but it's below the blue writing if you could see it. It says Michael Zalakis, 65, was operating an R train out of Brooklyn's 86th Street station on Labor Day when his emergency brakes were triggered. He investigated and found the man decapitated behind the final car of the train. He returned to work a week later, but never got paid for his 3 days off after MTA officials said the temporary leave only applies to operators who witnessed a suicide. Now let's dive a little bit deep into this because this is beyond deep. This is beyond deep. Now, two things, and I'm gonna speak for all transit workers. Two things that us transit workers don't come to work for is to be assaulted. I'm gonna say a few things that we don't come to work for is to be assaulted, to be disrespected, and for people to jump in front of our vehicles, if whether it's a bus or train, to commit suicide. And we definitely don't come to work to find decapitated bodies, whether someone jumped in front of a train or you're going to investigate and you find a decapitated body. We don't come to work for that. Can you imagine how traumatic that is? You're going around your train looking for a stop arm to be up. But instead of a stop arm, you're seeing someone decapitated arm. You're seeing a body cut in half. Could you imagine how traumatic that is and how much that weighs on the psyche of a person? The MTA don't take that into consideration. Like the article says, he didn't get paid the 3 days because he didn't witness the suicide, but he found the decapitated body. So there's more worth in seeing the suicide, but there's no worth of a person who's in a business of moving people safely from point A to point B and finding a decapitated body. There's no weight in that. A lot of people don't go to funerals because they can't stand to see a dead body in a casket. But the MTA think that we stand to see decapitated bodies because what they teach us this in school call. Do they have bodies laying around in school call to make us insensitive to seeing another human being? I can't even see deads on the road. After they get hit by a car, I cringe up. How do you think a person feel of the right sound mind of seeing a human being in that nature? This is how cold and calculated these people are. The MTA they do the most craziest stuff. Seeing someone jump in front of your train is more traumatic than finding a decapitated body. Why are they even weighed? They should be one of the same. If someone jumped in front of your train, or if you find a body, or no matter what the case is, they should be one of the same. But this is when it comes to these MTA bosses and the people who's responsible for upholding these rules and policies, we are dealing with a bunch of soulless. Let's get this right. With a bunch of soulless, non-empathetic people. I've never seen people like this my entire life. They are soulless. They lack empathy. They do not care about you. I don't know how many times I have to say this. We done seen this during COVID. We done seen this, how they treat members while they on comp and they don't pay them to get them to come back to work faster. We see this during this article. I need someone to answer. I need one of these MTA bosses to answer what's the difference between someone jumping in front of your train or bus and someone finding during an investigation as to why they train went breaks in emergency and they find a decapitated body. How is that least important? All of it is important. Some people can't get that stuff out of their brain. Some people can't sleep. Like I said, I see dead animals in the hood and I be like, wow, that look crazy. Could you imagine seeing a human being in that nature and your job saying that they not paying you because you didn't see them jumping in front of a train? But the MTA know that people ride in between these trains and they lose balance going across the track and they fall up under the train and the train roll over them. And then the operator think that the train was tripped and he think the stop arm was tripped and it was really someone real human life arm that tripped the train and they're dead and you're seeing everything spill up out of them. Man, these people is cold. They lack empathy. They soulless. They some cold-hearted people, man. They don't care about us. They do not care about us. But just to be clear, they only get away what they get away with because these people allow them to get away with it. These people are responsible for allowing them to get away with it. This whole entire workers' comp thing, the reason they get away with it is because of these people on the screen. That's the only reason that they get away with it. Tony Utano, super weak. Super weak. One of the softest union presidents in the game. I don't want to hear that he's a nice guy. He's cool to get to have drinks with. I'm not here to be cool. I'm here to have a president that's going to fight for us unapologetically. We want a union president who's going to lead the way unapologetically. We want that type of leadership. Utano has been making more excuses than the MTA during this whole entire pandemic. He has yet to hold anyone accountable as to what's going on. I mean, they went as far as blaming de Blasio, but no mention of Cuomo. Not one mention of Cuomo. And it's very important that we become familiar with their faces. Take a real good look at this sellout leadership. They are responsible for all our downfalls here, right now, today. Right now, today, they are responsible. They have done absolutely nothing for us. They are well aware of the struggles with workers' comp. They are well aware of how the MTA used not paying injured workers comp money to get them back to work. They are complicit in this behavior of the MTA. They are complicit. If you see J.P. Patafio over there, J.P. Patafio, once again, tried to make a power move against Utano a couple of months ago. He tried to run for president. It didn't work out too well. So what he did, he went back to Utano with his tail between his legs because he had to keep his other guys off their tools. These guys are not built with strength or character. If I made a move on Utano like that, you think I would go back? You think that I would be like, nah, I'm going to run against you. But these are the type of people that we dealing with. Richie Davis, he's quiet during all these times. Richie Davis talk about everything about except how the MTA and the governor treated us during this time. LaTanya, I don't know what she's doing. I have absolutely no idea. Earl, I don't know what he's doing. Witchard, like I keep saying, bro, you disappointed me. Big time. Chiarello, waste of time. Eric, big disappointment. Big disappointment. Shirley, big disappointment. Pete Risconi, covert racist. Straight up, covert racist. He was focused on attacking me because I was a young black man. He got the same syndrome that the upper MTA have. They hate to see a young black man critique them in any kind of way. They think that's the worst thing that could happen. So they will use management to attack you. Not saying that Risconi did it, but Risconi spoke to me nastily. He was part of a plan to try to... Did you guys know that they tried to get me kicked out of college at one time? Did you guys know that they wrote my campus director and tried to get me kicked out of college because I stood against them on issues? Could you believe that? My campus director laughed at them and said, what do they think that we are supposed to do? You are our student. So if they go to the campus director to try to get you kicked out of college, what you think they would do with MTA? The people that they sit with, the people they're afraid with, the people that they are buddy-buddy with. You think that they won't report you to the MTA and sell you out to the MTA? Risconi was a part of that. He was a part of that crew. Robert Kelly, big disappointment. I'm starting to think that he's also a swindler. Kelly only cares about being in the media now. He was just sitting in the media with A station agent, like, why let the station agent sit there by himself and get his shine? Let him tell him story. You ain't gotta be there. You wasn't there during this whole time with COVID. You wasn't there when the station agents decided to have a rally regarding the issues. But you're gonna be there for this, right? You definitely a swindler. And all that stuff, oh, Tramel, you really think that I'm like, yeah, I think that you like that. You have done nothing to stand up for members during this whole time with COVID. I don't want to hear that you got sick. I got sick too. And I stood up more for the members than you have, and you're a vice president, and I'm just the average member. You're an ambulance chaser for media. Big disappointment. You're not for the members. And I'm going to get I'm going to make the people familiar with you guys one by one. I'm going to introduce them to you guys one by one. I want them to recognize you guys when they come around, when y'all guys come around. When y'all come around, I want them to frown. I mean, and I don't understand how some of you guys could take pictures with these losers. They go to crew rooms, they campaigning, they want to show up on Thanksgiving, they want to show up on Christmas, and you guys sit there and take pictures with them. You guys sit there and take pictures with them. Man, we got to do better. We got to do better. And that's an understatement. That's an understatement. This is the weakest administration that Local 100 has ever seen. And the proof is in the pudding. They couldn't even stop down unsafe work during this pandemic. We are on a second wave, and the union is remaining quiet. They are weak because they don't want to go against Daddy Cuomo. They will refuse to shut down any type of unsafe work, specifically in operations. They refuse to shut down unsafe work. This is the weakest union administration of all time. Make no mistake about it. They are the most sellout group of people you would probably ever see in any type of unionism. Any type. They have dropped the ball, and as a result of them dropping the ball on us, members have died. Members have gotten sick. Members are still recovering because they dropped the ball. When we were out there doing our jobs, getting sick, they were social distancing. They disappeared for at least 3 weeks to a month this entire pandemic. They came out once the MTA came out with masks. Before that, they was hiding during this entire pandemic, social distancing. Why? Because most of them fell within that age group of concern. They wasn't pounding the pavement like each and every one of us were. They wasn't in crew rooms giving shop gates saying that we're going to shut down unsafe work. Progressive Action was. At some point, and the point should have been yesterday, we must hold them accountable. They are sellouts. They are complicit in how the MTA treat us. They are complicit. Let me see what you guys are saying online. Yo, shout out to all the people on YouTube. Abdul Rahman, Cancel Gang Culture. I see you guys. Nice little following over there. All the people commenting on in the Facebook page. Listen, I need you guys also, when you guys watch the video, I need you guys to put the thumbs up. Like the video whether you watching on YouTube. Like the video whether you watching on on Facebook. Retweet the video, retweet the live on Twitter, and like it. Make sure you do that. Do not leave without hitting the like button on the video, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on Facebook. Please do that. Hit the like button on the video. There's a lot of people watching on social media right now. There should be a lot of shares of this video. There should be a lot of shares of this video. And a lot of people was asking me after Christmas, how can they donate to the show? Obviously, we miss Christmas, but we ain't gonna miss New Year's. If you guys want to send a donation to the show, to the platform, you could donate via Cash App. It's on the screen, Progressive Action. If you want to donate, Cash App, it's Progressive Action. You see it on the screen. If you would like to donate via PayPal, hold on a second. If you would like to donate via PayPal, the PayPal is Progressive Action. And if you would like to donate via Patreon, that link is in the description of the video on YouTube and on Facebook. But please donate. Please support the platform. It keeps us going. It keeps things active over here. It allows us to expand. Definitely sending a donation. And I would like to wish you guys a happy New Year. Happy holiday. And I'm going to leave you guys with the video that we put together. So, yeah, once again, donate to the platform. Very important. Cash App, Progressive Action 100. PayPal, Progressive Action. Patreon is in the link of the video on Facebook and YouTube. But we're going to leave y'all with a commercial that we did. We decided to do something different this year. We wanted to incorporate different cultures, different languages, because a lot of people don't know that we are a mixture of everything here at the MTA. And I wanted to have people be a part of something for their culture. And I wanted to show the public that we are like you guys too. Don't let the MTA fool you and think that we're just a number or we're just a patch on a uniform. No, we are New York City. And this was the first time that this ever was done. The MTA never done it. The union never done it. And we are trying to bridge the gap. We doing a project called Bridging the Gap, where we're going to bridge the gap between us and the riding public, because we should be one. We should be one. We go back to our communities the same way the riding public go back to their communities. The only difference is that we are employed by a group of soulless, unempathetic people that don't care, and they only care about service and their bottom line. So check out the video. I hope this video finds you guys well, and have a happy New Year. Peace.
Hello everyone, this is train operator Panayotis Karas. On behalf of my family, Kalakli Sugena, Kekali Kronya.
আমি স্টেশন এজেন্ট শামীম আহমেদ বড়দিন ও নয়া বছর উপলক্ষে আপনাদের সবাইকে শুভেচ্ছা ও অভিনন্দন জানাচ্ছি। ধন্যবাদ।
Allô, salut. C'est Patrick, chauffeur, boss dans New York City Transit avec local 100. Nous avons souhaité que le public là, généralement, passe un joyeux Noël avec une bonne année. Ciao.
Hi everyone, my name is Luz Romero. I'm a bus operator for MTA. Y con mucho amor le quiero decir feliz Navidad y próspero año y felicidad. Ciao.
My name is Ahmed Bakir. I'm a train operator. Aid Saeed Leka Will Usher. Happy holidays. Happy New Year to you and your family.
Hi, this is Shepherd from MOW. I'm a track worker. We want to wish everybody happy holidays and a happy new year.
Hi transit family, my name is Esmatullah Salim. I am a road car inspector. Assalamu alaikum. Tajuhtis halgo sharo sachiwalari, shanawi kalwalari, tajuk maktar sarawiki, aftak aman.
I'm Frank Scaglione. I'm a train operator. Vorrei augurare a tutti voi Buon Natale e felice anno nuovo.
This is my father. I'm a retired car inspector Epen from Corona Bar, and this is my son. I'm car inspector Epen from 207th Street Electric Bench. We would like to say, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും Christmas ആശംസകൾ. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും പുതുവത്സര ആശംസകൾ.
Hello, my name is Andy Yep. I'm a conductor for the MTA. We wish you happy holidays and a happy new year.
Я Виталий Ярошенко. Работаю роуд-кар-инспектором в Car Equipment Division. От себя и своей семьи хочу поздравить всех своих коллег с праздниками и с наступающим Новым годом. 2020 год выдался очень тяжелым, поэтому в 2021 году я хотел бы пожелать всем стабильности, счастья и самое главное здоровья. Хороших всем праздников!